Hola, senors. It is I, Senor Batman, and I am here for your week 3. Nope, 2. Ripe up. Doing it really good. Ripen it up. Week 3 preview show. We are here. Thank you, Mr. Galvin 93. Greatest intro alive. I agree. And that was an old intro. And, actually, I think I need to update it. The logo at the end needs to be updated because it's the old logo. But I liked it and the song and everything. It was just so good that I just kept it. So thank you for your comments. Look, he's keeping the show interactive like it's supposed to be. But anyhow, week 2 is in the books. There was people who won. There's people who lost. But let's not waste any time. I'm going to try and make this episode more condensed than last week because last week was too long. So let's get to ripe up in time. Let's get right here. So we're down here at week 2. Start off with Tinker McTinkerton versus Cowboy Butts. Drive me nuts. What happened? Well, Cowboy Butts, despite missing Keenan Allen, Ken Walker Jr. Is it Jr.? Ken Walker. I don't know if it's Jr. actually, now that I think about it. Ken Walker, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, his team was trash. Also, he's Cooper Kupp, who left the game early, wins 127.54 to 116.14. Tinker McTinkerton, a little bit lower score. Had Kyler Murray go off, but Alvin Kamara, what a wonderful play. 43 points. Holy sheep shit. That is insane. Well, and also, as we were talking last week, because it was during the game, Tyreek Hill, only 5.1 points less than Cooper Kupp, who left the game. He lost his quarterback. He got a goose for Keenan Allen. He didn't move him out. Hey, do you hear that? Kind of hollow? That's your head, David. You got to start. You got to follow the games and see what inactives before game time and start someone. He could have started Dotson. He only got 1 point, but it's better than 0. So remember, if there's points, I mean, it could come down to it. When all said and done, it could come down to points. So if you see me looking down here, I got the Thursday night game down here. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye on seeing what's going on in the football. Jets are in the red zone currently. Anyhow, I'll try to give you updates in case you're watching this instead of that. Oh, Garrett Wilson with an incomplete pass. Anyways, I'm not going to do it the whole time. They'll make this video 100 years long. Anyhow, Patty McHolmes didn't do much, but it didn't matter. Cowboy Butts drive me nuts with the victory. Next up, Bohex Pitt defeats Slacy Slayers. Slacy Slayers last week's high score. This week, shit score, 104.48. Bohex Pitt 2-0 after this win, 128.98. What happened? Well, Brees Hall did Brees Hall things. What did I see? There was someone else. Oh, Fairburn. 22.5 points for a kicker? What? That's insane. Anyhow, Malik Neighbors did some pretty great things in his first game against Washington. That'll probably be a trend going forward. But, Justin Fields didn't do much. Lamar Jackson didn't either, but still a lot better. Just, Rashad White got hurt during the game. Only 2 points. That hurt him. So, Slacy Slayers moves to 1-1. As I said, Boex Pitt 2-0. Next up, Bill Cosby decimates I Am the Liquor. Or is it I Am the Liquor? 120.30 to 99.66. Just absolutely destroys him to go to 2-0. I'm the Liquor, a playoff team last year, moves to 1-1. What happened? Well, here's the big thing right here. Josh Allen, 11.76. Hold on, Jets touchdown. Alan Lazard got a touchdown. That piece of shit. Anywho, 11.76. That's all he got. That's going to hurt you for your quarterback. When you got a quarterback that big of a star, and that's all he does. Sorry, my beer's a little itchy today. Just checking the comments real quick. Who else? Oh, Brandon Ayuk hasn't really done much. Laporta's been a no-show. I mean, this kind of the way it went. Bill Cosby gets a big victory. Next up, believe it's our high score of the week. Bijan Badness, 138.42. The rebuild is working officially. Big score for him. 115.54 for Putain de Deux Flexions. not a bad score, just not enough to get the victory. He goes to 0-2. Jalen Hurts, big game on Monday Night Football. Jaden Daniels, not such a big game. No touchdowns for him yet in his passing career. Joe Mixon gets hurt. That hurt. Jerome Ford got out. He had less rushing attempts than Deonta Foreman, which was kind of insane. Better yardage, but I don't know. But just over here, you could just see. Just had one of those weeks where just everyone did good. Not insane, but good. 25 for Hurts. Robinson for 14.2. Montgomery for 15. Adams for 21.5. Collins for 23.5. Ingram got hurt literally right before the game. So 0 there. 2.6 Cooper. That doesn't feel good. But then 18 from his kicker, 11 from his defense. You gotta love it. Bijan Badness moves to 1-1 here, so I don't get fined. Versus McLovin. What happened? Well, McLovin, your investment in Caleb Williams of $25, it might bankrupt your season because only 7.36 points. Low score 2 weeks in a row. He needs some help. Bad. Here, so I don't go find any other way. Devon Achane was divine Achane. 26 points. Absolutely insane. Lamb doing Lamb things. JSN, 17.7 points. 16 targets. This ain't Shane Waldron offense anymore. JSN, 16 targets. Holy crap. Ryan Grubb likes himself some JSN. Anyhow, Xavier Worthy did not repeat his performance from the week before. He got 15.6 from his kicker, so that's good. Just on this side, as you're scrolling, you're not seeing much double digits. Jameson Williams still doing good for him. That was a great pick by him. But he's struggling. He needs his team to step up or something because 70 points a week is going to be a quick route to Sackoville. Finally, Daniels gets his first victory of his career in this league. Congrats to you, my friend. Way to go. And that's great. Same. Well, Mr. Bohek says same. I think he means say his name and he appears. I believe in the Sacco. First one in the book. That's true, Mr. Galvinator. Anyhow, which is Mr. Galvin, which is Mr. Damn Daniels, who we're talking about. High quality H2O, 0-2. What happened? Joey Burrow, 21.22 points. He's back. But week 1 was trash. Week 2, not so trash. Has a great matchup this week as well, I might add. And then Anthony Richardson, not so good. 11.86 points. Pacheco gets hurt during the game. That's a huge blow to him. He's going to be out multiple weeks, if not months. 13.6 before he goes out. Not bad. Did better than Kyron. But James Cook, 28 points. Didn't matter because Metcalf at 23. He only got 0.4 from Kirk. 15.7 from McBride. 10 from Eckler. 6.2 from Swift. That's not great. But yeah, long story short. Just had a solid week, and that's what you need sometimes. 125.32 to get his first victory. Let's look at the standings. Your top 5, aka your top 5 players, all these guys are in the playoffs currently. Your first place team is here, so I don't get fined at 2-0. Bill Cosby is 2-0. Bohax Pitt is 2-0. Then your fourth guy at 1-1, Tinker McTinkerton, and Slay Slayers rounds out your top 5. Those 5 teams are in the playoffs on record. Then based on points, your 6th seed right now, I think, is actually who's in 6th place, which is Bijan Badness. Let me just verify. Yes. Just something to point out. Here's so I don't get fined. Who is the... Well, actually, no, the highest scorer in the league is actually Tinker McTinker, and now I'm looking. 246.72. The lowest scorer is McLovin, 151. He's almost outscored by 100 points in 2 weeks. So, really got to figure this out, Mr. McLovin. Hopefully you do. But it's still anyone's game, obviously. It's only been 2 weeks. No one's won anything yet or done anything yet. So, just to keep that in mind, let's move ahead to week 3. Before we do, Commissioner's been slacking. Usually he has the note on Facebook and the note in the sleeper chat. After I get out of here, I will do a heroic effort to beat his ace so that he does it. Okay? I'll beat the living shit out of that guy. I don't give a shit. I can produce this show on my own. I don't need a shit. Sorry, chasing my dog. Is that a weird euphemism for masturbation? I don't know what you're doing, why you're masturbating and watching me, Patrick, but it's kind of fucked up. I don't really want you to do this. So anyhow, week 3. What can happen? Well, let's look. This is almost rivalry week in a way. And I'll explain why. Some of these weeks these matchups definitely have rivalry implications. Okay? Tinker Tinkerton versus the man who has beaten him twice in championship weeks, Putain de Du Flexions. These two are family. They're cousins. Can Tinker get the victory? Right now, they're projecting him to win 113.23 to 108.17. Let's find out. Now, I'm going to do these a little bit quicker. I'm not going to go position, because that gets a little boring, especially if it's not your own matchup. So I'm just going to kind of look over and I'm going to name some key players, and that's all I'm going to do. If you like that, you can let me know. If you hate it, say, Senor, you suck. This is terrible. Go back to the way it was. But anywho, so Kyler Murray is a key player, but so on the other side is Marvin Harrison Jr. If Harrison Jr. does what he does last week, those two will kind of cancel each other out. Harrison last week had, I believe, 27 points, 34 for Kyler Murray. So a little more for Murray, but when you get that from a receiver versus a quarterback, that's a huge swing. Daniels against Cincinnati should be solid, but if you remember, Mahomes had us only 16 points. Now, he doesn't rush like Daniels does, so I think that'll be enough to get Daniels up above 20, but it could be interesting. Mixon might not play. He has not practiced yet. If he does not play, that would mean his running backs are Jerome Ford, and I guess Emmanuel Wilson? I don't know. That would be very bad for him. He better hope Mixon plays. If not, that could be a major hit to his chances. One other player I want to point out that might be very, very key is Tyreek Hill. Has Skylar Thompson as his quarterback for the first week. Seattle's not the best matchup as is. They're projecting him pretty low. But I think that could go bad. Also, Brock Bowers should be huge. Also, Rashee Rice is the final player I noticed for Mr. Putain. He's been pretty good. And, with no Pacheco, you would think that the Mahomes and crew are going to pass a little bit more. So Rice should be a benefactor from that. I think Tinker gets the victory. Mixon's trending towards not playing, and I think that's going to be ultimately what fucks him over. So Tinker McTinkerton gets the victory to go to 2-1. And Putain Dave Du Flexions would be 0-3. Which would be not good. Now, why is this a rivalry? Just strangling myself. Battle of the Fried Chicken. Oh, I'm guessing I understand what's going to happen. I'll get there. Hold on, let me see. I need to look. I'm going to spoil it for myself. Oh, yeah, we got the... See, he knows. Patrick understands what's up. Anyway, high-quality H2O McLevin. Why is this a rivalry? Because both these teams, right now, are 0-2. They're both projected to barely break 100 points. Both of them need a victory to turn it around. Who gets the victory? Well, Purdy, Williams, honestly, Purdy's probably a little bit better, but Indianapolis should be an easier matchup than Houston was. So Williams should have a better game in theory, but who knows? That O-line is trash. That run game is trash. Caleb Williams' passes have been off target. I don't know what's going on in Chicago. But, so that, if Williams figures it out a little bit and it gets a little bit better this week, maybe these two are kind of equal. Otherwise, you got to go to Purdy. But Cook against Jacksonville, that should be solid. The other one I want to mention was Jameson Williams against Arizona should be a great matchup for him. And then Jordan Addison might not play. If that happens, he probably puts in Robodunze or Madison. So, nothing crazy there. And then the one, he's starting Whittington, hoping for something to happen there, which maybe this is the breakout game. But against San Francisco, that could be kind of tough. We'll see what happens. And then there's one more player I wanted to mention I saw. So, well, I don't see him, so we'll just move on. Anyhow, who gets the victory? This is tough. Because both these guys, there's nothing here. Oh, here it is. Tony Pollard. Pollard against Green Bay should be pretty solid. Tajay Spears is not a thing anymore. Pollard is the one. He's been pretty good. You got to like that what you're seeing from him. And I think that Pollard, honestly, should be pretty good this week. So he could be the difference maker. I think it's going to come down to the wire. I don't know. I mean, Cook on Monday is really going to be kind of the thing. And I don't know. It's just really tough matchup here, right? Like, it's going to come down to what Cook can do against that Jacksonville team. I think it'll be enough to get high-quality HO victory, but at the same time, my gut is telling me it's McLovin. I don't know why. They're projecting high-quality HO to win, but something tells me McLovin's going to sneak out a win this week, that both of them are going to score under 100, and it's going to just be a shitty garbage fest. It's going to be like a fucking Bo Hacks paid a pure shit fest. When he was terrible last year, where he'd face people and they would just do shitty against them every week, and he'd almost beat them, but not really, because he was the Sacco, he was trash. But I think this year McLovin is going to be that guy, and I think he is going to get the victory this week. I don't know why. It's just something telling me, like, this is what's going to happen, and that's what I got to go with. Here's so I don't get fined. Cowboy butts drive me nuts. Now, why is this a rivalry? These are two guys, honestly. What's the rivalry here, you say? It's not that they're two guys. Just being two guys doesn't make you, whatever, I'm with you, boy. Maybe those two guys from the last one tie. What's the rivalry? It is, here's so I don't get fined, and Cowboy Butts Drive Me Nuts were two of the teams that just were not changing their names. They were just leaving it. Cowboy Butts got changed like 2 years ago, never changed his name. Here's so I don't get fined was Team Tweeden 88 and just never changed it from the second he signed up. Like 3 years ago. So what's the rivalry? Because Here's so I don't get fined changed his name. So now Cowboy Butts is like, hey, no. It was a thing. We were just going to keep not changing our names. So I'm going to beat you now to prove that you're a baby for doing that. So I don't know. We'll find out what happens. It's a weak case. I get it. It's not really a really good rivalry. It's not like you're like, oh, that's a great right. No, it's not. Who gets the victory? Well, if Patrick Mahomes has to throw more, that's going to help him there. Dobbins against Pittsburgh, not expecting anything big. Kamara against Philadelphia, am expecting something big. Keenan Allen did not practice on Thursday, so not looking good for him. He might have to swap someone in. And then the other player on this side that I wanted to point out is San Francisco against the Rams. I don't usually talk about defenses too long, but the Rams offense is just depleted of everything. I feel like San Francisco could have a pretty good game this week. And on this side, A-Chain against Seattle, I think he's going to get enough work in short, checkdowns and stuff that he's going to be good. Charbonnet, if Walker is in fact out against Miami, again, checkdowns and stuff, I think he's going to be good. He was good last week when that happened. Other than that, there's not really anyone Chicago and Indy could be really good. What is this popping at me for? I don't know. All right, so who gets the victory? I think it's Cowboy Butts. Despite all the injuries to this man's team, I think he gets the victory. 2-1. He would be after this. They are projecting very close. I agree. I do very much agree. I think really the number one player comes down to is Mahomes. I think that if he passes a lot, he has a 25-point game-ish, that could be the difference right there. Next up, Bijan Badness, I Am Liquor. Both teams 1-1. Why are they a rival this week? Well, not every matchup's a rivalry, okay? I don't know what to tell you. So we're just going to move forward. For Mr. Bijan Badness, key players with big matchups. David Montgomery against Arizona. Gibbs has been getting a lot more of the work, but Montgomery has still been getting enough work and been good with it. Adams against Carolina should be pretty good, but if the Raiders get too far up, maybe not so good. The hope you have is that Dalton come in that Carolina can keep up a little bit so they have to keep passing. Next up, the other key matchup I want to say is actually Cooper against the Giants. I mean, should be good, but last week's matchup for Cooper was good, and he did shit. And the Rashid, does that continue? Does he get another 70-yard touchdown? If it does, that's going to be great. So that's his key matchups. Over on this side, key matchups, Josh Allen. He cannot have a week like last week on Monday Night Football. That would be bad. James Conner. Detroit's front line against the run is like a wall. So if he can persevere against that, have a good week, that could be very good for him. That could be a big upswing, like a big overperformer based on what he's projected. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, 14.36 they're projecting, but against Arizona, that team on defense is not good. So you would assume Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be able to do pretty good. That should be a very high scoring game. The line on that right now is 49 points. That's high. So St. Brown should be in line for a big game. Laporta is another key matchup, though, against Arizona. Can he get back in, or is Jameson Williams taking his targets? And lastly, Brandon Ayuk. Debo's out. He's gone. McCaffrey's out. He's gone. It's him and Kittle and Juwan Jennings. Can Ayuk finally have a good week in week 3? We will find out. Who do I think gets the victory? I think it's Bijan Baptiste. I don't think Hunter Henry is going to do much right now. He's not doing too well. We're in the, second quarter, beginning of second quarter. He's still only got 1.9 points. But I think what's going to happen here is I think that Jacksonville's not good enough, I don't think, to do much. So I think Allen and them crew are going to get ahead. James Cook, I think, will probably have an okay game. Maybe he'll do better than last week, but I'm not expecting some 30-point week. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But I think Connor ultimately against that Detroit defense is not going to have a good game. Dallas, I think, will bounce back after their bad game against Henry. And those two guys are two of his bigger guys. And honestly, I think Laporta might be in trouble. I do think that there might be some trouble in Laportaville. And that would be because of, Jameson Williams. He's the main. He's finally showing up. So that could be bad news for him. All right. City Slayers, Damn Daniels. Why are these rivals? Because they're also friends. They're good friends. But they talk a lot of shit about each other all the time. So, not in the chat, but in real life. Like, they're frenemies almost. Can City Slayers get a victory over Damn Daniels? Or can Damn Daniels make it 2 in a row in his quest to win the title? His first ever title, and go back-to-back with that roster. Imagine what that would be like for Michael Rakestraw to win with this lineup, give it away. Give away this roster he won a title with to another person. And for that person to take 6 of those players, build around that, and do it again. Be quite a feat. Can he do it? A win this week would be one step closer to realizing that dream. Let's take a look. Key players for Mr. City Slayers. Sam Darnold. Now, through 2 games, I believe he is quarterback 3. Oh, he's quarterback 10, but he's had 18 and 23. Good scores. Houston's got a pretty decent defense. Yes, the Bears' offensive line was trash, but he's got a pretty good defense that he's going up against. If he can do it for a 3rd week in a row, I think you're looking pretty good. Another key matchup is, where did I see it? Neighbors against Cleveland. Now, he had a great week last week against Washington and their shitty pass defense. But can he do it against a Cleveland defense? Let's see. Kittle might be out to shit. Oh, okay. I don't know. That's probably for the last matchup. He's saying he's going to have to take a poop. Anyways, and so Ayuk might be pretty good. Anyhow, and then my last key one here is Isaiah Likely. He started him against Dallas. He didn't do shit last week. He's already got 12.3 from Lizardo, so that's good. So, but those are kind of, I think, to me, the key matchups. Now, Godwin's another one. Surtain should probably be on Evans, but you never know. Can Godwin repeat what he did last week? That would probably be helpful. Key matchups for Damn Daniels. Joey Burrow. Great matchup against Washington. If he can capitalize on that, that would be huge. Jordan Mason's been great against a beat-up Rams defense. You have to imagine he's going to be great again. Kyron, he's kind of the last one left. He had a bad week last week. He got in the end zone, salvaged the week, but 12 for 25. He's averaging under 3 yards per carry, as you see there. Not good. So that's not good. They're going to know that he's kind of the next main, like the best kind of option. So kind of curious what he's going to do. He's got Mike Evans over here. Like I said, Surtain should be on. That should be a bad matchup. So that if he can maybe persevere, get a touchdown, that could be good. McBride should be solid against Detroit. That's a good one. And then DeAndre Swift. Indianapolis is not a good rush defense. They lost to Forrest Buckner. Can Swift finally get the shit figured out and do good? If so, maybe that's a big deal for him. Maybe he finally has a good week. I think Dan Daniels gets the victory. You know, I feel like I pick against Slay City a lot, but today I think it's really what this comes down to. It says it should be close. I think he's going to lose by less than a point. I don't think so. I think Joey Burrow is just going to have like a 25, 30-point game, unless they just boat race him and then he doesn't have to throw so much. But I think Kansas City. Washington, they wish they were Kansas City, right? Washington, I think it's just, they're going to be scrappy enough to stay close enough that Burrow is going to pass. He might be getting T. Higgins back, which will even help more. I just think Burrow, most of all, is just going to be a big thing. And I think Darnold, actually, this is going to be the week where the slippers for Cinderella come off his feet, and he's now a princess no more of football, and he's trash. So, Joey Burrow versus Darnold, I think you'll see that'll be a big swing when I talk about the wrap-up next week. That is why I think Dan Daniels gets the victory. Breece Hall almost ran for a touchdown, Mr. Bohek. You're probably over there like, oh, shit. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. I don't know if I picked you to win yet this year. But congrats. I picked you to win. Now, you'll probably lose because I did that. But anyhow, finally, the KFC Popeyes Battle Royale. Bohek's Pit versus Bill Cosby. Bohek's Pit and Bill Cosby also 2-0. Both these people have different choices of chicken that they prefer. I'm a Team Popeyes guy. I like a little spice, a little zest to my chicken. Still like KFC, but give me some, love that chicken from Popeyes, as they say. And I do. Almost a touchdown. Conklin didn't conk that one. All right, so, key matchups for Mr. Bohek. Lamar Jackson against Dallas. Lamar Jackson, so far, week 1 he ran his ass off. 27 points, 152 yards. Las Vegas, he still ran his ass off. Not as much as the first week. Only 18 points. You're probably still happy with 18 points, but he's the kind of guy that can be a game changer and score 30 points, so you're probably hoping for that. Jamar Chase against Washington should be absolutely insanely good matchup. But T. Higgins is coming back. Keep an eye on that. Ridley against Green Bay should be a solid matchup as well. He's been pretty good. And then finally, last but not least, I think Las Vegas versus Carolina offense. Dalton's going to throw a bunch, so maybe this is a sneaky bad matchup. But against Carolina, you think even so, he should be pretty good. Breece just ran. I don't know if they're saying good or not. I missed it. His knee is down there. I think he might be just a tad short. I can't see from this angle. I don't want to. Might be a Breece Hall touchdown. Well, let's see. Scroll up. They didn't give it to him yet. Oh, he's past the line. His knee is not down. That should be a touchdown. But anywho, so right there, Bohek's Pit might be having a big Breece Hall game right now. So that's key ones on the left side here for Mr. Bohek. For Mr. Bill Cosby, key matchups. Stroud versus Minnesota to me is a big one. That's a bad matchup. Minnesota right now, by the way, if you didn't know, oops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Stroud's the number one defense for fantasy football. Number one fantasy football defense. So they're pretty good. So Stroud, last week he only got 16.3 against Minnesota. I'm expecting something similar this week. So that's why that's a key matchup. Stevenson is another one against the Jets because that's a tough defensive front. He's done nothing against them so far. So very instant. But in the positive, Chris Olave, I feel like he's due for a big game against Philly. That defense, you saw last week what happened when the pressure got on them. Trash. Absolutely fucking trash. So I think Olave is going to be pretty good. Devonta Smith against the Saints, I think, also could be pretty solid because Brown should be out. And then last but not least, I think that Baltimore's going to have to throw the whole game, so Flowers should have plenty of targets to do that. Bohek's Pit gets the victory, in my opinion. I think he moves to 3-0. It's insane. It's gross, but 3-0 for the Sacco would be quite the bounce back for him. Like, I just realized I'm still in the wrap-up. What am I doing? I'm supposed to be in here where it says preview show. What an amateur. What an amateur. But anyhow, that is your week 2 wrap-up. In your week 3 preview show. So that's what's going on. That's what I think is going to happen. So maybe a couple of upsets, not really. But, you know, it should be interesting. The season's been pretty good so far. It's been kind of crazy. A lot of injuries. A lot of things have changed. Honestly, I feel like some of the teams up at the top were not even in the playoffs last year. So that's like Tommy. He wasn't even in the playoffs last year. This year, he's fighting for it. So that's pretty good. Like, he's the best team right now after 2 weeks. So if you don't mind, I am then going to go and beat up your commissioner and tell him, hey, 2 weeks in, you haven't done the fucking note that keeps track of all the other money and everything else. Touchdown Hall, there you go, Mr. Bohack. Touchdown Hall. So that is all I have for today. Until next time,